This is Newsy back with you. I'm beautiful Tequesta, Florida, back with my favorite guy and yours, the traveling trainer, Taryn Hoff. We'll be right back with you in 1 minute.
Hey everybody, happy Saturday, June the 27th. Welcome to today's Skype interview, GoTarryn TV time. And as promised, we have brought Tony Annuzzi back on. As you can see, he's here from Tequesta, Florida. We missed him out last week because of scheduling problems on my end and my behalf. So Tony, thank you so much for being able to adjust your schedule. Literally, folks, I just called him at the last second and he popped right on here. So I can't thank you enough for being able to come on here, Tony, and be back here as a guest, as a follow-up for GoTarryn TV.
Well, mutual admiration society, actually thanking you for keeping me on here months and months, once a month at a time. I really enjoy it, and I hope I don't wear out my mouth.
No, yeah, we're excited to have you, and there's a lot to catch up to speed on with you. First and foremost, how is the wedding preparation coming, and how's Katie doing?
Katie's doing great. She actually has her classes today. I think maybe she has a test for her nurse practitioner school. And as far as the wedding goes, we have pretty much everything all set to go, except for we have to nail down a photographer. But I have my wedding list ready for my future mother-in-law. We have a band. We have the flowers. In fact, I'm sure she's watching. My neighbor for 11 years, Cindy, is her flower. I directed my fiance towards, and I'm sure Cindy has been like an aunt to me for the past 11 years, and I'm sure she's happy to be making a small contribution to the wedding. So I'm sure she's watching. Hello, Cindy. And as far as the wedding goes, everything's going smoothly.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. How about some current event stuff, Tony? I know I was noticing that there's a couple of movies out that it looks like you wanted to see as well as myself. So it looks like Ghostbusters is up and pretty soon. They're working on that, and then Jurassic World's out. Did you see the new Jurassic movie yet?
I did not yet, although I've heard a lot of good things. My sister has seen it, and in fact, funny story. When the original Jurassic Park came out, our dad took us on opening night of the opening weekend when it first came out. He took us to the theater, and the line it was in a strip mall. The line stretched out to around the, so it was a slow march to where once you get up to another storefront, you were glad because you had something to see. But long story short, we got in last 3 seats together, and my sister has a memory of getting Milk Duds for the first time at the candy counter and pulling out one of her baby molars. So to tie it into current events, she went to Jurassic World. She told me that due to tradition, she got Milk Duds again. And the whole piece came out.
How long ago was that, Tony? Does that come in like what, 20 years ago or so, or a couple of?
I remember it was 93 or 94, so it had to be at least 20 years ago.
That's what I thought. And then what about the Ghostbusters movie? I saw that you were interested in some of the things going on with that movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, your latest T-shirt with you with the master and trainer of the universe,
yes,
was modeled after He-Man, and I know you're a giant He-Man fan.
Yes.
And just as much as you're into He-Man, I am into Ghostbusters ever since I was 7 years old. The original movie, the cartoon, even Ghostbusters 2, and every iteration of the Ghostbusters I've been a huge fan of. And next year, July 22nd, 2016, so after I'm married, this is going to come out. Paul Feig, wonderful director. I even knew a lot of the TV stuff he did early on in the 80s. So I mean, I trust him as an artistic genius. I think he'll do the Ghostbusters name proud. Dan Aykroyd, who created the concept, is an executive producer. So again, I'm sure the property will be well managed. And Melissa McCarthy, who was also in Spy, I know when you were talking with Robert, you were talking about how he wanted to see it.
Yes.
I had just seen it in the theater with Katie, and
How was it?
it was excellent. I mean, perfect combination: chick movie, dude movie, Jason Statham, Melissa McCarthy.
It's hard
You
to
got
imagine
elements
those two together in a movie like that.
But I mean, anyway, to tie it all together, Paul Feig, director of Spy, also going to be director of the new Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay.
And just like the original Ghostbusters, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd were Saturday Night Live alums before the original Ghostbusters. Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, Kristen Wiig, and the new one, Saturday Night Live alums. So similar humor, I'm sure. A lot the same. I'm very excited to see the new generation.
Yeah, that's awesome. What other movies are coming out, Tony, that you guys are looking at interested in seeing?
Yeah, well, we usually watch Netflix or on demand our cable. So I mean, we don't actually go out to the movies much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mentioned, I think of course after my sister has seen it, I think I have to go out and see Jurassic World at some point, maybe next weekend or this weekend.
Yeah.
So we can both get out there. We'll see Jurassic World.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone that I've heard that's seen it, it's just nothing but positive feedback, and they've broken all these records and by grossing all this money. But switching gears, what about wrestling? Have you been watching any WWE or TNA or Ring of Honor, any of those at all?
Oh yeah, it's gotten all crazy. My favorite is a gentleman by the name of Kevin Owens,
Mm-hmm.
formerly Kevin Steen of the independent ROH, where he got signed.
Mm-hmm.
He's now the NXT champion. Old school bad guy heel. I mean, there's nobody better. I don't know if you've been watching. I know we like we like what we grew up on, but definitely what's keeping me interested in the current scene is the NXT. How that's its own thing on the WWE Network, $9.99. I just watched it yesterday. In fact, another gentleman by the name of or his name before WWE was Prince Devitt. He's now Finn Balor. He plays this Ghostbusters-esque demon, Irish curse guy. But he's very talented. I enjoy his matches, and they're doing a July 4th live card on the network from Japan,
cool.
where Kevin Owens is putting up his NXT title against Finn Balor. And the past 2-3 weeks now on NXT television, they've been running this video package of the life and the career of Prince Devitt, aka Finn Balor. And last night's episode was actually capped off by Finn facing off against none other than ECW's Rhino. Rhino is now in NXT as a sort of a veteran character.
I haven't heard that name forever.
I know, yeah. I mean, I see him on the network, and I'm thinking, this is the same guy who almost landed in my lap and crushed me after my last ECW show.
I remember that.
Yeah. But there's a lot keeping me interested. I mean, you got Ring of Honors on cable now. TNA, Impact Wrestling, is making a resurgence on the same network, Destination America. Unfortunately, I don't have the cable package that has that channel.
I was just going to ask you that. I've never even heard of that channel. I couldn't even find it. It's weird. I don't even have that available.
It's an offshoot of the Discovery Channel.
Oh, okay.
It's one of their added channels. But from whatever package they offer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm on Uverse, and the package the package grade I have doesn't have Destination America.
Okay.
Okay. Seeing as we live in the age of the internet, I can always find the episodes later on elsewhere.
So you're saying they're both now on the same network? Is that right?
Same network, same night, back to back. I know, unbelievable.
Wow. Huh.
Not since the days of GWF and ESPN has that ever happened. But yeah, so I mean, they now call it the Wednesday Night Wars instead of the Monday Night Wars of the '90s. It's the Wednesday Night Wars.
Huh.
You got NXT on the network. You got TNA Impact and Ring of Honor, same network back to back. And I forgot this, the El Rey Spanish English language network. El Rey Underground.
I've heard of that.
It's a lucha libre style, Americanized. Robert Rodriguez backs the company, and their TV production is most like a movie. Like you'd have a match, and you'd have a backstage segment that's kind of like a scene from a movie, like almost like The Godfather, or some
cool
De Niro. So yeah, I mean, lots of interesting new developments in pro wrestling on a Wednesday night now. If you're not regularly watching, I mean, you, Taryn, not regularly watching, I think you should be. If you can find the time, at least, like I said, if you can't watch, first go on, there's always avenues on the internet to find new episodes, and I think you'll enjoy it.
What about the new promotion Jeff Jarrett's working on? Is that going to come into fruition anytime soon?
These questions are not scripted, folks, but turns out just last night on TNA Impact, totally out of the blue, Jeff Jarrett, promoting Global Force Wrestling with a Global Force t-shirt on.
Oh, wow.
Comes out in the middle of TNA Impact Wrestling, and sure, what he was actually doing there in the long term was shrouded in mystery. He was very close to the vest, but what he did reveal is that Slammiversary, their TNA's WrestleMania, is actually, which I believe is this Sunday, tomorrow. He's actually, first of all, they brought back the King of the Mountain style match that they originated. They're bringing it back, and this past TNA Impact episode, Jeff Jarrett announced that he will be in the King of the Mountain match. So what that means for the long term of GFW and TNA, it's a very exciting time. We're going to have to watch and see.
Hopefully this will be a resurgence, and the last several years have just been total crap and dull and boring. Right. Maybe this will be the upswing now, kind of like the Attitude Era back in the late '90s.
At least it's keeping me interested.
Exactly. Well, now switching gears, then let's talk about your workouts. How have they been going? How's your fitness lately?
Well, I feel like I'm reporting to a teacher about homework. I don't have an official personal trainer, but I do kind of think of you as my mentor guru in this avenue, which is not a bad thing.
Absolutely.
If I like I always say, if I was actually in Atlanta with you, you would be my personal trainer.
Absolutely.
However, I feel like I'm reporting to a teacher about homework. Last week, I was only able to go in on Monday of last week because my in-laws had some out-of-country guests, and it was one dinner, one party, one get-together after another, and I just couldn't get. We were always doing something, but this week I went on Monday, went in yesterday, and we go in tomorrow. I'm back on track. I'm doing my cardio. I walk to the gym every day. I walk anywhere I can every day. If I don't have to take my car, I don't. That's how I primarily get my cardio. Once I go to the gym, I work every weight machine in there. And I don't push myself too hard because I do still have heart conditions.
Mm-hmm.
I do as much as I can, and once my body tells me stop, I stop. But I make sure I get a good solid workout so that I leave there thinking, okay, I've done, I've built energy, or my body, or my body is satisfied now. I can go about my day. And that's how my workouts usually go. And I can't complain. I mean, sure, I sometimes have to motivate myself to get out the door, but once I'm out the door, everything is gravy.
Excellent. That's great, Tony. How about Katie? How's everything with her workouts too?
Everything well, first of all, she has her own personal trainer,
That's
and
right. Yes.
he actually, I know we didn't speak about too much about WWE a second ago, but WWE has their Tough Enough reality show made it come back for their sixth season just last week, and her personal trainer's son has a friend who is a contestant on
Oh
Tough Enough,
wow. Oh cool.
and apparently Frank, her trainer,
Mm-hmm.
got to hang out in the Tough Enough house.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I don't want to give away any TV show secrets, but he was able to just hang out and see how everything worked, how everybody interacted. He thought it was a great experience, and Katie got back to me. He's like, "Oh, are you jealous?" And actually, I kind of am, but I feel it's kind of payback for when I used to brag about my friend who wrestled in the Hart Family Dungeon, or the guy who wrestled at the WCW power plant. And so yeah. Anyway, so that's what her personal trainer's up to in his free time. But he and Katie meet at the very least to mall walk together, depending on their schedules. And she goes into his office, and yeah, he gives her a workout. And aside from that, she she does kickboxing. She goes to kickboxing 3 days a week,
Nice.
whenever her schedule allows it. Because again, she is very busy as a nurse. But whenever she's able to get away, she attends a kickboxing class, and whenever I get the chance, I sit and watch her like a proud parent, and she's a proud fiance. Because actually, there are kids of all people of all ages in the classes. So, I mean, you could have me, or you could have somebody else's parents who are cheering everybody on. But yeah, everybody's very nice there, and they're actually trying to get me into a class too. But I'm trying to be careful with what I can or can't do, and maybe they'll get me into a class. We'll see. It looks like fun. But that's what Katie does for exercise, and she's doing great. We're both doing great. We're very happy.
Nice. You look great, Tony, and I know the wedding's coming up soon. Going back to wrestling for a second, because I hold that thought. If you're the main booker right now for WWE, how would you book WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, like the big one coming up? What would be the dream card that you should book?
All right.
I know I put you on the spot. That's a fully loaded question.
Fully loaded question. Well, we should bring some NXT guys in there, if just for the pre-show, because actually I really shouldn't say that, because I have a feeling if you're in NXT,
Mm-hmm.
and you really have to earn your way to the main roster, earn your WrestleMania spot. It shouldn't just be handed to you for the sake of making a good card.
Well, how about Steve Austin? Is he gonna? There's been rumors he may wrestle on that show. Is that possible?
Well, apparently, if you saw the Steve Austin podcast with Paul Heyman a couple of weeks ago, he was actually, Mr. Heyman put Steve on the spot for real
Oh.
and totally threw him off. And he has no inclination to ever get back in the ring, which is why he was so thrown off. And he actually gave him on the air a solid no. And apparently the story went that after the podcast went off the air, that Mr. McMahon gave Paul a talking to about going off the script like that, because Mr. McMahon had no inclination of Austin ever wrestling, especially not at WrestleMania 32.
Oh, wow.
But so I mean that was a gamble on Mr. Heyman's part, and it just blew up in his face, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
But getting back to what I think should happen, I think since I can't really come up with a whole card on the spot, I wish I could. Maybe if you give me time to think about it. Just off the top of my head, I think Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn once he gets better. He's out with shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who have been in NXT for the longest, I think, should be featured on WrestleMania 32 in some form or fashion.
How about The Rock and Ronda Rousey? Are they going to be on that card, do you think? Or do you think they should be?
I think they should be. I think they set the scene, because I know ever since the first Rock and John Cena, they sort of booked a whole year in advance, which thankfully hasn't blown up in their faces yet.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually at the first Rock John Cena match at WrestleMania 28.
That's right. Yes.
And but yeah, so I would love to see Rock and Rousey, Triple H, and Stephanie. I know UFC is saying that she has no plans, but of course, anything can happen in a year, and they might be working us all. But so yeah, to answer your question, I would love to see a mixed tag with Miss Rousey getting in the ring, because as far as the UFC and mixed martial arts, she's my favorite, and Katie understands that, because it's nothing more than fighting. So there we go.
If you were the agent, who goes over? Would you have Stephanie go over Ronda?
No, I think Ronda should go over, definitely.
Yeah.
Keep her status as the baddest woman on the planet, in my words.
I think people would riot if Stephanie won that one. Well, that's good, Tony. So we've covered wrestling, we've covered fitness. Now let's summarize and finish off here. Let me ask you a few more questions about the wedding coming up.
Sure.
So we're T-minus, 11 months and some change. What else happens from here? I mean, a lot of preparation, right? Are you getting nervous?
Well, I'm starting to a little bit. I'm sure I will really freak out as it gets closer. I've actually warned Katie about that. Said nothing personal, but the closer this comes, the more you might have to calm me down. Not to say I don't want to do this. I don't know if I've ever said this on your show before, but I know marriage isn't going to be perfect, but she's the one person I think is worth working through anything with. So I know I'm the person I want to be with. And as far as what has to be done going forward, I just this morning got the final name on my share of the wedding list that I want to invite. So I have everybody I want to invite. I have to get it to my future mother-in-law as soon as possible now, because she's aiming to get the save the dates out late October, early November, to sort of beat the Christmas mail rush.
Smart.
And from there, I don't know when the actual invitations will go out, but from there, you should watch for an invitation. Definitely, I know you'll actually be an officiant in the wedding itself, but I'm sure you'll know as soon as or even sooner than anyone else.
Oh, I can't wait. Do you have my address, Tony? I can't remember if you have my mailing address.
I actually believe I do, because I think it's on the wedding list.
Okay, just in case, I've recently closed my P.O. box down, so if it's a P.O. box address, please let me know.
Right.
Otherwise, we should be fine.
Right. I might have to get with you later in case I find a PO box.
Yeah, and anybody else watching, if you're sending me any money, please make sure to send it to my new address, not the P.O. box address. So, anybody watching right now, you're more than welcome to send me money to my personal address at home. But Tony, this half hour just flew by so fast. They always do with you. They go by way too quickly, but we got a lot covered in a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. I'm glad we slid you under the wire here for our June Skype blog. And I can't wait to get you back on in July so we can follow up. And by that time, I'm sure we would have had our 4th of July and celebration and all that. So let me ask you this. That's a week from today. Where are you going for 4th of July next Saturday, Tony?
Well, 4th of July, aside from getting up at the crack of dawn so I can watch this NXT Japan show,
Aha, yes.
yeah, so I'm going to get up at 5:30, watch that, take a nap. And once I get up for real, it'll all depend on what Katie's doing. I know she doesn't have to work because she worked Memorial Day. And for trade, she doesn't have to work 4th of July.
Good.
So depending on what she wants to do, I know we'll be together either over here and watch the fireworks or over at her place and watch the fireworks. All I know is we'll be together doing something, and that'll be our 4th of July.
Excellent. Good. Well, that's great, Tony. Well, I can't wait to get you back on here again. I can't thank you enough for coming on and the short notice and being able to get on here and recap. And really glad we got to follow up with you. Can you go ahead and close out by reminding these fine folks how they can get in touch with you?
All right, getting in touch with me. It's very simple. Tony Yanuzzi on Facebook. Search for that name, and you can find me. My picture doesn't have a beard, but it's me. Twitter is at sayscalled, SAYSCALLED, and my email is TONY.YANNUZZI @gmail.com. Any one of those you can reach me. Please reach me. I'm very approachable. I love doing these little episodes, and I hope to do so again soon.
We will. We'll have to have you on. You were the #1 first ever guest guinea pig on GoTarryn TV Skype too. So.
And I'm honored for that.
Oh, we're honored. It's our pleasure. Well, there you have it, folks. Tony and Uzi down there in Tequesta, Florida. Stay cool and enjoy the rest of this June, Tony. And for everybody else watching, thanks for watching this weekend's GoTarryn Skype TV blog. Happy Saturday, happy weekend, everyone. Tony, we'll see you on the next video blog here soon, my man.
All right.
Alright folks, thanks so much for tuning in. There you saw it, Tony's contact information. He's our most frequent regular guest here on GoTarryn TV Skype. Like I said, he was our first ever guest, and he's our most recurring guest. You can always expect to see him on here. So for all the folks who are interested in wrestling and fitness and cardiovascular health, you want to watch these blogs and not miss them with Tony Annuzzi. He is one of among all of the other wonderful guests that I've been having right here on GoTarryn TV, exclusively brought to you by GoTarryn Personal Training, just for you. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you're having a nice weekend so far, wherever you're watching me from. And I'm in the corporate GoTarryn headquarters office, but it's time for me to check out and get on with it. So as I bid you adieu, there's a few more things I'm going to ask of you. When you're finished contacting Tony and telling him hi, I need to ask you to do a few things for me. So number one, there's a website link right here at the bottom of your screen. You see it? It's pretty cool, isn't it? www.gotarryn.tv. Go to that website right now, bookmark that as a favorite to your browser, and tell 2 people about it. Just 2, that's all I'm asking you to do. A few other things that I can ask you, if you could please make sure, if you haven't done so yet, like GoTarryn on Facebook, subscribe to GoTarryn on YouTube, and follow GoTarryn on Twitter. And until I see you guys next time, remember, with GoTarryn Personal Training and Taryn the Traveling Trainer, the master of the personal training universe, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. Happy weekend, everybody. We'll see y'all next week. Take care. So long.